So this PowerPoint presentation is on how to write an academic paper based off a survey by Justin Alday. Step 1 would be to gather background research. The first step needed to be taken before even creating a survey is to research the topic that the survey would be based upon. Since our topic was self-driving cars, I did some research on self-driving cars in order to get background information on self-driving cars and their technology in order to be able to better understand my topic and ultimately help me develop my questions for the survey. Inserted below is a screenshot of a website that I personally use in order to gather my information. So step 2 is to create the survey itself. After researching my topic, I was able to gather enough information to generate my 8 survey questions. I also used the handout provided by my professor in order to aid me in generating these questions. I created a survey using SurveyMonkey in order to be able to survey people from off the island, and I also created a paper survey in order to survey people on the island. That way there was no bias based off geography from the data provided by the survey. So up above are 2 pictures of the handout that the professor provided for us. So on the left are the questions that me and my classmates generated, and on the right are her suggestions and comments on how to improve these questions. So the 5 survey questions that I focused on for my survey are: question 1, how many people do you know have an autopilot car? Question 2, a driverless car is a car that is run by a computer instead of a human. Several current cars have this feature. The driver can drive normally or have the car drive itself. What is your general feeling about the driverless cars? Question 3. Knowing that a self-driving car is controlled by a computer and automatically keeps a safe distance from the car in front of you, how would you feel about the safety of the self-driving car compared to a regular car? Question 4. What is a feature that interests you most in an electric driverless car? Question 5. If money were not a problem, how likely would you be to purchase a self-driving car based on this feature only? So this slide is just examples of what my survey looked like. The top 2 and the bottom one to the left are from SurveyMonkey. So it's just an example of what they look like for like the actual survey on SurveyMonkey. And then bottom right is just a picture of a couple paper surveys that I did. So step 3 would be to analyze the data from the survey. After my survey was complete, it was now time to analyze the new data. In order to thoroughly analyze the data, I placed that data in an Excel sheet. Putting the data in an Excel sheet was beneficial as I was able to create graphs and data tables to break it down easier for my research paper. So below is an example of how I laid out the questions and the data in the Excel spreadsheets, and to the right are the graphs that I was able to create using these spreadsheets. And then these are just more examples of the questions and the data displayed on Excel. Step 4, interpreting the data. After the data was well organized and easy to read, it was time to interpret it in order to write the paper. For example, from my data presented, I was able to interpret that people aren't fully sold on the idea of self-driving cars and their tech. So the last step would be to actually write the research paper. I personally use the outline given by my professor in order to structure my research paper, and these are just pictures of her outline, and it's basically what I followed. So these 2 are screenshots of my research paper. Again, more screenshots from my research paper. And the cool pattern you see to the right on my slides, and the one that was on the top and bottom of my title slide, was based off the design seen in some Mexican sombreros. And I just used the Mexican flag colors in order to fully portray the culture.